All right, Obligor Sports Network. Such a time as this. We're out at Bixby's on 405 College Avenue in Clemson, South Carolina for our 4th annual post-spring game show. Weather's been great. Had a great day. Saw some great football. Man, we got more sponsors for the show than we ever have. I want to give a shout out to Purely CBD Greer. Their 4th year, Wade Hampton. Dawn runs a great operation there.
We'll even say that.
We even got the big sign here.
Purely.
Dawn. Yeah. It's so big we can't even get it on here. So we're going to spend a little bit of time. 217 West Wade Hampton Greer, 864-655-7215. Because where you buy your CBD matters, and they get the best ingredients from the best people. Also, we had about 2 weeks ago, we had Charlie T's. Charlie T's. All right. Got a sign for them. All right. Got wings for all your tailgating needs. Hey, when you think of wings, don't you think about football? You think about basketball. I tell you, during March Madness, I've eaten more wings the past couple of weeks than I've eaten all year. Hold on a second. Right on 176 coming in. Been in business. Exit 19. Been in business 50 years, so they're doing something wrong. Right. We got their barbecue sauce here. We've got their moonshine grilling sauce. You got to pick some of that up. And we also got.
Did you say moonshine gorilla sauce?
Wing sauce. Buffalo wing sauce. Charlie T's. Let me tell you a little bit about them. They're turnkey. What you do is you go online to charlietees.com, charlieteeswings.com. You put in your order, your last name, and when you're going to pick it up. So if your last name is Starnes, your last name is Adcock, you're picking it up at 11:15. It's a turnkey operation. You go in the game, you give them your name, they give you the wings, and you're out the door like that. It's already paid for, you're ready to go. So happy to be partnered with them. All right, Bracken Real Estate for the 2nd year in a row.
Bracken, that's this one.
Okay, they're at 208 Powdersville, Maine, in Powdersville, South Carolina. And Dan runs this operation. Dan has been recognized as one of the top 5 realtors in the upstate for the past couple of years. Great guy. I asked him when I went in there, I said, how's business? He goes, more than handle. And I said, that ain't a bad problem now. All right. Adopted stepmom. Sassy's. We're going to do Sassy's. Sassy's Boutique, the oldest boutique. We went in there earlier today. I always come up here and talk to her. She's like, hey, Josh, you want anything to eat? You want anything? Just kind of like the mom I have after my mom died. Love her to death. Got my girlfriend a couple of nice things there for her birthday. She's the oldest boutique. She's right there on Sloan Avenue, right next to Jimmy's.
Yeah,
Nick's, which is Jimmy Howard, which is Frank Howard's son. All right, so she's sponsored us for the 3rd year in a row. Vapor Nation. All right, going out toward Anderson. Liberty Highway, but Race X is right down Clemson Boulevard to get past Anderson Ford with another sponsor of ours. You go into Vapor Nation. Brad, can't pronounce his last name, still can't pronounce it, neither can you. Equality or something like that.
Yeah.
They've consistently got one of the top vapor companies, stores in the upstate for the last 5 years. I think 3 years in a row it was when we went out there. We always do the opening show there.
Also just put on another vapor one over here in Clemson.
Yeah. All right. So we did. And also, we don't have a sign for them. We got Condustrial Incorporated. Jacob, the guy who does the podcast with me, hooked me up with these guys. If you know where the Bond Security Center is, it's right across the street. We did a show there last year for the Clemson Carolina game. What they do is they've got the corporate office there in Greenville. They're all over the Southeast, basically. And they got one in Columbia. What they do is they got a great business model. Think about it. They're an employment agency that gets people jobs because people need jobs because people got to pay bills.
Yeah.
And what they do is not just a regular employment agency. It's more of a trade. You're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're a construction worker, stuff like that, specialized.
Yeah.
And they built kind of a little small empire. We had one of the funnest times there doing the Clemson Carolina game. That one. One of the guys is a Carolina guy and the other guy is a Clemson guy. So it's a lot of fun. So they signed up. So we're excited. And that's all the sponsors, right? We talked about.
Yeah.
Well, we had all the signs. So I want to appreciate all the sponsors. Y'all are what makes this possible. Y'all are what makes this happen. We're so grateful for you. You're the bread and butter that makes this engine run. We're growing phenomenally. Things are kicking, popping, happening. We've had more sponsors come on here in March than we've had in a long time. So I always love the spring game. And I'll tell you why I love the spring game.
Why do you love the spring game?
Well, you're going through football withdrawals. Okay. And March Madness takes care of that. You know, we're out in March Madness. We didn't advance, but it does give you. It does, but you go there a couple of months and you don't have anything.
That's true.
And the good thing about spring game is there's no pressure. Gives you a little bit of time to come down here. It's free. Parking's free. Everything's free.
Definitely
Get good
have
seats. You
access.
ain't got to
That's
fight
true.
for seats. You ain't got to
No.
fight for a hot dog. And you get to see, you don't really care who wins or loses. You want to see the quarterbacks, the new guys, the new
Yep.
recruits. You want to see how they play. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It gives you an idea of what to look forward to going into the 2026 season. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw. My personal opinion, and I just call it like I see it. Nobody has to agree with me, but I thought Pearman, like we talked about 2 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, I got eyes, I got a brain, and I've watched a lot of football. I thought he was the most consistent quarterback. And I think Chris, don't get me wrong, I think Chris was good, and then he was not good, and he was good. He had
See, and I
He went
disagree
as-
with that because I thought that this year, I thought his throws were okay. I didn't think the receivers were going to the ball. So, but I can see you saying that. So,
Yeah, well, he also stood out last game. But who I'm really excited about, and I know I put the big bad name of ETN, who I thought was the greatest running back we ever
yeah,
had.
he did do good. Number 8.
Gideon, number 8, reminds me a little bit of ETN. I'm not saying he's ETN. I'm saying
He's not.
he's got speed. He's got hops out of there, hits the line as fast as you can go.
He did look good.
He did
have
look
some
really
runs.
good. I've
He
seen
had
some
good
YouTube
runs.
video on this guy, and he is a beast. He's an athletic phenomenon. He can get down the field.
Hey,
ain't slow.
I hate to say it, but Sammy Brown got called for a late hit today. And just saying that Dabo called him out in front of everybody. So,
Yeah, Dabo's over to the mic, and well, he hit a late hit, and that shouldn't happen, especially when you're playing your own team. It was out of bounds, he hit him, but Dabo's mic'd up, and Dabo's calling everybody out. It's the only time he's going to do this in spring game, calling everybody out when they make a mistake.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but he's also seeing when somebody makes a good catch.
Oh,
or
he
throw,
did good.
he's
He
also
called him out,
complimenting them at the same time.
He
It's
did.
not all bad, but I hate to be the guy that gets called out in front of, there weren't 80,000 people here. It's probably 40,000 people, and Sammy Brown's name got called about. I only talked to him about that late
He
hit.
called him out about 5 times in that one play.
He might be running extra push-ups or running laps when he gets back to Clemson.
Yeah.
So such a time as this, it's March. Got a little bit of March Madness going on tonight. We're down here at Bixby's, did 4th year in a row. Student housing, if you're looking for a place to stay, they got a gym, they got a pool. This is a real nice place. And like I said, 405
Right on
College Avenue.
Right on College Avenue.
You got to have somewhere to stay. We're in college, and why not be on College Avenue? If you're in college, what a great place to be. You're right here, literally. Walk down the street, and you're at Dabo's restaurant. Walk a little bit farther. You got everything you need on College Avenue. Walk a little bit farther.
You're right at the university.
Yeah.
Golden
So,
Fields is right there.
shout out to them. We'll be back again next year. Spring game, nobody got hurt that I'm aware of.
Nope.
Gideon Davis, Pearman stood out for me.
Yep.
Sammy Brown got a little slap on the wrist.
Yep.
He's going to be running laps.
Possibly.
I mean, I wouldn't want Sammy Brown hit me. I saw him at the SO Club this year. He's a big dude.
Had some good guys, did some good punts. One guy punted one for 63 yards.
Yeah. No, not a punt, it's a kick.
It was a kick. It was a field
Yeah,
goal.
they did this thing at the end. I've never seen them do before. They started out with 50, and then it went to 56, and then it went to 63. And I don't know what the record is.
I think it's 63 actually.
It's 63, I think, is actually the record. You don't see a lot of 63-yard field goals in college. But the scoring was back where it needed to be. I don't know what they did last year. That was the most weird, screwed up thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was weird.
So, we're football fans. 3 points, a field goal, 3 points, a touchdown, 6, extra point, 7. They've got that right. They got that back. We're up to about 160, 165 days till kickoff. I always tell people, it seems like forever, but once it gets into 99 days,
Yep.
in the summer, it flies by. And next thing you know, you're having the countdown. And then you have the kickoff. And then you're excited because it's the happiest time of the year.
It is.
Especially if you're a college football fan. And it's the happiest time of the year. But the problem is,
Well,
you want
especially-
time to just slow down.
That's true.
Because everybody say, what are you doing today? If it's Saturday and it's college football. What do you mean, what am I doing? The day's already playing. We're watching football all day. So it'll be here before you know it. The baseball team got as high as number 8. They're playing today.
They got a game right now.
Yeah, softball's playing. They're having some problems now. Let's be honest and blunt about it. Georgia Tech, arguably the best team in the nation, came in and swept us. And then, we did get a win from Citadel. College Charleston. And then we kind of been on another. I don't know what's clicking. We're not clicking.
And that's the problem with baseball. Baseball, it's not, if you catch it at the wrong slumps, that's how it
We
works.
went from
little things.
that 4-game slide. We went from 8 to 17, like nine. Now we're out of the top 25. So
Right.
if you go on ESPN, because ESPN, when you're looking at games, you're not in the top 25. You can't pull your up on your app.
Right.
So that's what I like about being like being in the top 25 anyways. Then you're trying to find where they're playing anyways on some other app. But anyways, hopefully they'll straighten it out. We're at a time right now where the slide needs to stop. We need to start going in upward motion there.
And I think they will. They'll get it back.
I mean, yeah, basketball team, I don't know. I will say this. Iowa's still in, and I think they're playing about an hour and a half. They played 6, I think. So the team that beat us and the team that had is one in the top 4 was Florida and Iowa who beat us, and they didn't blow us out. It was a fairly close game. We just couldn't make any shots. Our defense has played consistently all year in basketball. We at one time during the season were the number 1 defense in the ACC. We're in the top 5 in the nation, but we just, they always say that a great defense, great offense wins games, or great defense wins championships. The problem with our basketball team was we had a great defense. And I think near the end, some people started figuring defense out, but we couldn't hit a back of a barn with the ball. We could not make our back.
And the problem with it is they got to go back and rebuild the team again for next year. So,
and not only that,
next year
we talked about it. It was like we had some good players, but our highest scorer was 11.8 points.
Yeah,
and that was Goddard.
Yep.
And we didn't have the Michael Jordan. We didn't have the Ralph Sampson. We didn't have the Larry Bird. We didn't have that phenomenal player. The star player that most teams. Everybody kind of equally contributed. The mix worked good there for a while. Everybody did contribute. Defense played good. We're able to win a lot of games, but in the end, we weren't making our shots. We weren't making our free throws.
Yep.
They're free. They're free.
They're pretty much free.
And they're free. They're free. And you should make.
You got to.
You should at least make 85% of
You
it.
should be in the 80 range.
There's some games that we played. We had made all of our free throws, at least more. 5 more than we did. We were won. But it was a decent basketball season. We're better than we were 10 years ago. In basketball.
Oh yeah.
Showing a little, not to be comical or anything, but the ones looking the best. The gymnastics. In my opinion,
that's worth mentioning.
I've never done. If I try to flip over like that, break my neck. I mean, I can't even touch my toes.
I won't even go there.
So I'm always amazed at when I watch gymnastics because it's just something I'm so far away of able to do. I can't do any of that.
I don't know how you have control of your body.
I don't know. Even the cheerleaders, when they do the 2 or 3 backward flips in the end zone, I'm like, I'd land on my back and you'd be calling 911. But they won the ACC championship. And a big shout out to the women's basketball team. And Sean Poppy was the right hire. I'm just going to say it like it was. I think we got robbed. And I'm not making an excuse. I mean, she came down there and made the shot. I'm sitting there. I get off the couch and run around the kitchen celebrating. I come back into the den, and they're all looking at a little camera. And that wasn't the problem. The ball was actually touching the finger.
Right.
And, only in basketball do we have 0.09. Football especially got 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second, 0, bang. Basketball is broken down to like 1/10 of a second.
Yes, it is.
And it was touching her finger just like that. Barely didn't get it off time. The problem is everybody agrees, except maybe the team that won. She got fouled before the time ran out. And now the ref called the foul after the buzzer, but the foul happened before the buzzer, so it didn't matter. And they didn't go to the line. Well, the problem I have with that is we did lose in overtime. Is she went to the line and had 3 free throw shots. If you're a betting man or a betting woman, you'd probably bet that she would have made one of those out of 3.
Right.
And we would have won. But that's not the case. So anyhow, it looks like the Lady Gamecocks are going to take it this year. I don't know. From what I see, they're dominating.
Yes.
They beat some team recently by 7 points. So anyhow, I don't know where Stevie went. We are really new in this thing. We're only about 14 minutes. But so a lot of sponsors this year. Welcome to be back here at Bixby's for the 4th year in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate Vapor Nation for their 4th year, going on 5th year. We'll go out there and do a show. Getting a lot of sponsors actually coming back. And so we're doing something.
Yeah,
they'll be back. And we'll probably do the first game. If it's a night game, which we're playing LSU, probably will be. We'll do a couple shows then. Don's going to wreck Columbo's Pizza. I asked him for a sign. He is sponsoring this game also. We've never had this many sponsors for one game. If you've never eaten a Columbo's Pizza, they have the best pizza. They have the Chicago style. Mm-hmm. He's from Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan. He's got Wrigley Field up there. That's not Columbo's.
No. I'm just going to tell you. It's about that size and it's about that.
Oh, yeah. You can't. Yeah. You share it with somebody, you're still going to be taking some home. And yeah, they got the other pizza.
It's massive.
They're, from what I understand, they're the oldest pizza place in Clemson. In 1983 or 4, I don't know if I'm exactly right on that date, but it was early to mid 80s when they came, and they're still in business.
Oh
So
yeah.
they're doing something right, and the prices are good, the food's good, so you can't go wrong there. So it's just good to come to the game and not worry about who wins or loses. By the way, if anybody betted money on it or really cares who won, Orange won
Pretty handily, actually.
So it kind of tells you maybe the players that are playing on Orange team.
See, I wore the right color. I wore gray because I did not pick a side.
Yeah. So, the game, we started a little bit early because the game went fast and they don't have any timeouts. Halftime's 2 minutes. But, the point is get back, get your hot dog, relax, maybe get some popcorn, beverage, whatever you want. Watch the game, see how players are playing. Nobody gets hurt. Main thing I was looking at today was quarterback. Got a kind of an idea. Denson, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. Of course, he's a running back. You're playing basic flag football on quarterback. You can't really.
And they had another one in there that was from the white team, and he made some mistakes. There
were 5 quarterbacks.
The guy touched him, and they gave safety. And
and then you have a guy
he might easily juke that. To be fair,
and a 20-yard dash run for quarterback stopped to a 5-yard dash because somebody touched him. But.
Right. So,
it's understandably why they do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because nobody wants to get hurt, especially the quarterback. He's the team engineer. So a little bit in the off season, what's going on? Unless you're a Clemson fan, unless you've been living under a rock or something, we all know that Scott's back.
Who?
Scott, offensive coordinator.
Oh, Scott.
Yeah. And so we've had a couple. Chad Moore. I'm going on 4 hours late. Chad Morris. I don't know where Scott came.
That's why I asked that.
Chad Morris is back. If you're familiar with Chad Morris, Chad Morris was around back when Taj Boyd was playing, and also was there with the first Deshaun Watson first jumped on the scene. Chad Morris is a fast-paced. They call him the Red Bull Energizer Bunny. He's hyperactive. It's a fast-paced offense. I like the fast-paced offense because it keeps the defense off guard, and when you keep the defense off guard, the defense always gets tired first. And he's not afraid to do a little bit of that razzle dazzle. He's not afraid to throw the ball down the field.
I think Chad he's a good hire. I think he's a good hire because he creates stability where they need it right now.
Well, he was during that 4th and 16 period where we started catapulting into the next dimension and started going to the playoffs and national championship.
I'm just saying that.
And he's right. You get Taj Boyd. Do your math. Taj Boyd's actually got more yards than any other quarterback. Now, I would say Taj played another year because Sean and then went to the NFL right away.
Right.
But Taj Boyd, those are good years. We were basically going from mediocre to great, and then Sean came, and then we stayed at great for a while, and we've had this little lull. And I don't know. I'm not a yesterday paper guy. I'm not a living in the past guy.
Well,
I'm about it's all about what's going on right now.
You got to realize that
the
whole NIL has changed the whole dynamics of the game.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that the loyalty factor is not where it used to be. These guys are they're playing for a season, and that's what we have to realize. So it makes it tough, and so. We got to realize that you've got to fill in the gaps and figure it out. And I don't think we're there yet.
One good thing that happened in the offseason is because people have been on dab about the NIL, and we took advantage of that. We didn't. I thought we should have gone out and got a quarterback. But he did jump in there and take advantage of that, especially on defense. We're loaded, more loaded than baked potato, like we say. And it shows he's able to do that. And we got a couple of people on offense, but I guess they saw well enough in the quarterback situation. My God, we had 5 of them playing today.
Yeah, we did.
So that was good in the offseason. He's taking advantage of that. Chad Morris has changed. You got Tom Allen coming back for a second year. You can't really judge somebody on the first year. After about 2 or 3 years, then you start getting that.
Right.
If it ain't changed or, by the second or third year, you gotten better, then it gives you something to kind of bake.
I guess you've done pretty good then with me here because you've increased every year. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we increase every year.
Just saying.
I believe ours has increased every year, especially
it's not Josh, it's me.
Well, that's debatable. it's Tam. She brings good mojo here. And it's Steve. So anyhow, we're down here. You guys want to get something to eat later, but we had a real good time. The weather was great. It was 60,
Weather was
65
good.
degrees.
Weather
I remember
was good.
coming
last
here.
year. My goodness.
God, I was red. You watched the last one, red. I had sunburn for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Sit down in the sun. It was 87,
I got some
88
sun. I'm
degrees.
not gonna lie about that, but
It was perfect.
It was very nice. Yeah, it was very comfortable.
One too hot, one too cold. Halftime, you wear a jacket. Halftime, you wear a short sleeve shirt. And really, you could have gone either way. But great to see the team play. Great to see nobody got hurt. Great to see a little bit about quarterbacks. I'm most impressed with Gideon Davison. I think he's going to be a
Gideon's
solid.
going to stand out for sure.
I've watched some YouTube videos on my. I followed him before he got to Clemson. The dude's a freak of nature. There's a YouTube video. Google it. He basically goes running in parking lot and runs up a wall like Spider-Man. I mean, just Google it. I can't explain it. You seen that? Yeah. I'm like watching that like
Come
this
over here,
dude.
Gorilla Man.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I thought
No, not yet. So we got a special guest here at the end. He's going to do Tiger Champ. We got our mascot, the I Bleed Orange Gorilla, here today. You may have seen him on a couple podcasts. I was talking to my dad several years ago. We're sitting in his office, and he's Googling around all these Clemson groups and looks at this and looks at that and looks at ours. He says, son, y'all are just different. He says, y'all like the Rolling Stones of Clemson football. And, we are. We like to have fun. We like to market. What does a duck have to do with insurance? Nothing. A lot of insurance. When you're looking at marketing and doing your craft and everything, you got to stand out. That's why I like Pat McAfee. He has that little disclaimer down there. Do not sue us. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you can't, we're not going to sit here in a tie and go, well, we're at the spring game. And by the way, Gideon Davis had 4 carries for 48 yards. Which I think he had more than that. But we keep it fun, we keep it exciting, and it seems to work. Nobody wants to watch something that's boring. And we've had some of the most exciting shows in sports history. I think when the cheerleader fell down at Diamond's Golden Record, that was my all-time favorite. We're sitting here. We got this lady dressed up like a Clemson cheerleader that works at Diamond's Golden Record. Pom-poms. Me and Mike are sitting there, and Jim's kind of a tall guy. She's probably about 5'5". She's the whole time she's there cheering. Me and Mike are like
sitting back here for the walls.
We're getting in her serious game talk face, and we're getting serious about this stuff. And also, she falls down.
Just as we're doing this, and she goes.
She wasn't hurt. She made a pick that Jim didn't like. He kind of nudged her, and she just fell. So we have fun. The best is yet to come. We're growing like crazy. Internet website hits, which a lot of people don't see. I see behind the scenes. Sean sends me stats. I mean, one time we were growing at. You saw that 38,000% last year. It's growing that's a lot of stuff you don't see. And when people think about marketing and advertising, here's the bottom line. Let me borrow your phone for a second. Go ahead. You're looking to buy a car, and you don't go home on Tuesday at 3:38 in the afternoon, turn the TV on, and look for a Toyota commercial. What you do is you think about everything you want in life nowadays. You think about it. There's a thought that goes in your head. You strictly go to this bad boy right here. Normally here, because everybody carries everything. You got your bank account in here. I pay my bills on my phone. But basically, you look up.
It's a computer.
You're looking now like we sponsor us. You do the hotels.
Oh yeah,
hotels. You're coming down here to Clemson. Let's say you're in North Carolina. You live in Georgia. You live in Florida, wherever. First thing you're going to do is you're going to Google that. And you got to have a good internet presence. You got to have good SEO. You got to be getting hits. You got to be getting excited about this thing. Because if you're not excited about this thing, you're doing it wrong. Let's go.
That's true.
Let's go. All right. I'm excited.
That's very true. Cannot argue that.
You'll know why I'm laughing a little bit.
Yes, it's. I have to look this way because otherwise I'm looking at it.
We got a special guest on tonight, or this evening, whatever you want to call it.
This afternoon, by the way.
I don't know what we say. 40,000 people there today.
No.
Anybody dumb enough to sit in upper deck?
No.
There were about 4 or 5 people up there last year. I'm like, what? You got the whole stadium. You can't get the 50-yard line, 40-yard line. You ain't doing it right.
No.
So I don't know. 40,000 people to drive in. We had a couple areas that kind of slow, but actually when we got turned around when let's come back in College Avenue, traffic wasn't that bad. You can get in and out of the concession stand and you can do the rest of it. You're not waiting in line.
We got in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, so that's part of another good thing about spring game. No pressure.
No,
it's not as crowded, and the weather was good. Time to see some people, do tailgating or post tailgating.
Yep.
And see a little bit of the team, and that's what we saw. And it went by really quick.
It did.
I mean,
it did, and they did a good job speeding it up too, because they, like you said, halftime's 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I mean, it's a spring game.
They really didn't cut time. They just pretty much let it run and flow.
Think about it. If you're Clemson fan, who do you pull for?
Well, yeah.
They're not.
That's why we're great.
I mean, I was pulling for the offense. I don't know. I just want to see every offense. But
Yeah.
evidently, the white
But
team.
I also wanted to see defense shut them down.
Yeah, white team didn't do that well on offense. Tells you there's more potential there in the orange team.
Yeah.
What we saw today, get starting positions. This game really have two starting positions at the same position, two starting people. So anything, nothing really spectacular except Gideon Davis appeared to look consistent. Chris he got off to a rough start. And then he had some really great throws. He had some good runs. And he hit a couple. He hit that touchdown pass over the corner.
See, and I thought Busy looked okay. I thought that and Pyramid did look good. But I thought Busy looked okay. I did not think the receivers were doing their
I'll
job
agree
well.
with that.
And so that's the problem. And that's one of the things I pointed out to you because I thought Vizio's throws weren't bad throws. The receivers weren't going to the ball quick enough in the beginning. And then they opened up a little bit better. And then Tyler Brown had some
Tyler,
really good too.
Tyler Brown's one exception. Tyler Brown was good.
Tyler Brown
and
he missed a couple of receivers catches too that he should have caught.
Yeah, there were.
So,
I agree. There were some tough catches, but they should have been caught. That's their job. They got one job to do it. They're a receiver. And every time I see them miss like that, it's out there. I always say,
dude, if it's in that box,
Mike Williams would have caught it.
Right. If it's in that box, you got.
Anytime I see a Clemson player miss a catch, I always say Mike Williams. Williams caught everything.
It was one the guy hit it right there on the palm. Absolutely, number 7.
Yeah,
and right there, and it bounced off his hand, and he missed it.
It's arguably who's the better receiver, Justin Ross or Mike Williams. And I think solid Mike Williams was. Justin Ross, I think, had more natural talent. Justin Ross had a vertical leap. Justin Ross can just defy physics.
Consistency, Mike Williams.
Some of those catches he made in the national championship. Oh, I miss them guys.
Consistency, but Mike Williams is probably better.
Sammy Brown, number 1 pick about 2 or 3 years ago. He's a senior, missed last year.
Oh, he's gonna be great.
He got a little spanking today. Got a little called out.
Oh, he did.
But
probably rightfully so.
I have. He is a freak physical. I've seen him in the workout room. I've seen him. The dude's a freak. He's got no fat on him. He's all muscle. He's just in great shape physically. Hopefully, you have a breakout.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well. Okay. You've lost some weight. I'm proud of you, man. You've gotten your diet a little bit better. You're looking a little bit better. But I don't look at guys. So.
You're looking at Sammy Brown.
Huh?
You were looking at Sammy Brown.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
Just saying.
All right.
That's what he said. That's what I heard. Did y'all hear that? No. Okay.
Never dull moment. I wish we had more to talk about, but it's a spring game.
It's a spring game, man.
And it's not us against Notre Dame or us against Georgia or us against South Carolina.
We just want to see some players.
We just want to come out here. The main thing we want to do is, Bixby's has been so nice to allow us to come out here every year. So we're doing some free advertising. They let us use the place. So it's kind of a great deal. It gives us a great location to come to. Also gives us where we can have more than one sponsor. We don't actually have to go out here. And sometimes they come down here with us.
Yeah.
And it's a great spot. So anybody that are parents or any students that are looking for a place to stay, Google it. And, I've walked through this place. It's got a cafeteria right over here. Yeah. 405 College Avenue. They got pool tables in here. I beat Mike last year. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I beat you.
No, I think I beat you. You hit the 8-ball then. And you still up.
That was the second game. The first game I won.
No, I think it might have been 50-50, but they got a cafeteria. They got a pool out there. They got a weight room over here. It's first class, state of the art, nice, clean, fairly new. It wasn't here. I'm not sure when they opened this, but it wasn't here 10 years.
This is their 4th year, so that's when they started.
Yeah, it wasn't here 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
if you got been here 5 years, but still 5 years is not much for places.
Yeah, you're within walking distance of class. You don't mind walking just a little bit, and you're right almost. Everything down there on College Avenue is just within walking distance. And you can just get back out here to the highway,
exactly,
Tiger Boulevard, and you can go out toward Seneca, or you can take it back toward Greenville.
Or you can go to Anderson.
So it's a great location.
Yeah.
And so we're excited about this. We're excited about what's going on. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Some stuff I'm not going to talk about. So we're doing behind the scenes.
Really wrapping it up, tell you we can go back over a lot of good advertisers that you got going on. A lot of people sponsor for you.
Yeah.
And that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Like you said.
And we follow us every Tuesday at 7:30 on our podcast. We break it down every Tuesday night at 7:30 with Rowdy Tiger. Plug that in. With Rowdy Tiger and Jake Donald. He was here earlier.
Who's that?
So follow us and then we're also doing, because it's not football season, we're also I do one every Saturday at 11 a.m. and we break down whatever's going on in Clemson. We're just in that little lull period. Basketball season's over. Baseball's going on now. Girls softball's going on now. Spring game just happened.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. And I really like to watch women's softball. I mean, I think you've gone to a baseball game with her too.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll go watch the baseball game. Of course, don't tell nobody. We'll watch the baseball game, just kind of walk around the corner and watch the softball game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They play right. A lot of times they play together at the same time, and softball's right behind the baseball field. So hopefully our Tigers can get some momentum back. I mean, one time, not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago, we're number 8 in the nation.
Yep.
And I don't know what we are right now. We're not in the top 25. So hopefully they can pull that together. Any other breaking news? South Carolina fired a coach. Monty Smith's back.
Monty's now back.
Monty's back.
Well, he's not. This first time he's been there. He was at college from Charleston. Is that where he was? Or something like that. Anyway, then he was at Clemson.
But no, he was at Clemson. He was at Clemson. Now he's at Carolina.
No, he's at Carolina.
But they got the basketball, women's basketball, and I'll tell you what, man, they should be playing the men. Some of them scores.
Oh yeah.
I mean, me and Tam were out there about 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, and we're looking at scores. And it's like 109-30. Am I seeing that right? How can you beat a team? It's not just beating a team. You're beating a team in the NCAA tournament.
They're dominating
by 70 points. This ain't some regular season game.
They're dominating.
Yeah. So I don't know. They got that going for them.
They're dominating.
It's like Bill Murray says. They got that going for them, which is pretty cool. So Bill Murray, maybe we'll see him. We'll go down to Charleston here in a couple of weeks. So anyhow, I Bleed Orange Sports Network, IBleedOrangeClub.com, podcast 7:30. Every live show is 11.
If they want to advertise with you, I Bleed Orange, how do they get a hold of you?
My cell phone, I don't mind giving it out because I have a problem with it. I always block it. But it's 864-680-8789. 864-680-8789. Our email is ibleedorangesportsnetwork@gmail.com. Website, you got somewhere you put in there, put a little thing in there and contact us, put a little message. We'll get back in touch with you. ibleedorangeClub.com. And that's how you get in touch with me.
Or you probably tag the bottom and he'll probably reach out to you either one. So,
Yeah. You comment on here. So we're not going anywhere soon. We've grown every year. There hasn't been a year. Every year gets better.
Yep.
So far we've had a great March, and I think April's going to be even better. And so what else?
I think it's time to bring the gorilla.
I mean, let's give about 8 more minutes if we can. Let me think for a second. There's just no football right now. And then
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna end it early, but this is the way I'm gonna end this thing. I did a YouTube video about NIL's ruin college football, and it is what it is. Some people agree with me, and some people won't. The NIL has changed college football. Doesn't mean I don't still love college football, but it's not the college football it used to be.
It's changed the dynamics.
It's changed the dynamics.
Completely. That's the whole thing. President Trump had a huge thing with Nick Saban, actually.
Yeah, and a lot of people
out there because of the whole thing, because they're like, it's just changed the whole game, and now they're looking at it going, we got to do something about this.
Well, a lot of people are getting on Dabo because he wasn't using the NIL. So now he's tapping into that. When in Rome, act like a Roman, right?
Yeah.
You got to change the time. So he's done that, and then we had a little bit of that tampering stuff from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And and I will say this. When that happened, just like Nick Saban went up to Washington, D.C. to talk about the NIL, because I think Nick Saban would be your spokesperson as anybody, and I have a good reason to believe that's why Nick Saban ain't coaching anymore. It's not because Alabama was really on downward spiral. Alabama's been pretty consistent even without him. But Nick Saban basically he didn't like the NIL, and I think that he says, "I've done what I can done. I'm the GOAT right now."
He said that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue. Whether you like him or not, I mean, I happen to like him. He's got a dry sense of humor. It's kind of But you got to admit he's the GOAT right now.
Without a doubt.
But when guy came from California, and the guy's texting him, the guy at Ole Miss is texting him in the classroom and say, "Hey, I heard you sign. What's your buyout?" That's blatant and tampering.
Especially after the whole the windows closed.
Came all the way in California, got a place, enrolled in class, working out the football team, and then gets to coach Golden.
Right.
Over at Ole Miss.
Right.
It was Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin left.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened to a better team than Clemson. I don't want him at this point. He's going to do that.
No.
So, but Dabo, I think, was the guy to be chosen to do that because Dabo has a way of eloquently speaking about things like that.
Oh,
when he got out there and did his press conference, nobody can speak like Dabo. He's just got a unique characteristics. He's got more sayings he's come out than anybody. He just says these things and it's like, oh, okay. Bring your own guts. Okay, whatever. I mean, he says something. The next thing you know, shirts are being printed, and that's what we say. But so there's going to be a little bit of a price paid by Ole Miss.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you're right.
I
I do think so. But
which begs to answer
answer
the question: what does the NCAA do now? Remember back then, you couldn't buy a biscuit for a player. Danny Ford bought a biscuit for a player, and I tried to say something.
They did say something. He got slapped for it.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm going to practice with the kid.
Yeah.
And what about going to eat in front of him? It's kind of rude.
Yeah. The thing is, let's be honest, college football fans. It's been going on forever.
Yeah.
Now it's just legal to pay players. But, I'm trying to think the guy for SMU, the running back.
I can't remember that.
Pony Express. Dickerson.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, the last place he was going to SMU, he's talking about all of like Florida, Notre Dame, and all of a sudden he just signed with SMU. And next thing you know, he's got a brand new Trans Am and rent's paid for. His mom's got a new house.
Right.
That's been going on forever. And then they got put on the death sentence. Now you can legally pay players and nobody can say anything. And, so I just think it's a little bit of money for somebody that's 19, 20 to get paid $4 million a year. Just saying, if you Google any state in the United States of America, top paid state employee is always the football coach. Trust me.
Without a doubt.
Dab is the highest paid state employee. I'm sure what's the name at UNC is now.
Oh yeah.
Belichick. And so anyways, now it's legal to pay him. I just think $4 million. When you looked at Clemson last year, you had Tom Allen probably making $2-3 million. You had Dabo making 12, and you have Cade making $4 million.
Right.
I guarantee you didn't stay here at Bixby's. Nothing against Bixby's, but he probably had him a house on the lake there, and a couple cars.
Yeah.
Cash, but. These are the times we live in.
It's definitely different for sure.
So I just like college football. I don't just hope this hasn't tainted it too much. Because it doesn't affect the playing.
We'll see.
Yeah,
it's hard to say for me.
But
that aspect of fair.
Realistically, it's about 1 or 2%, maybe 2.5% of all players in college go pro. The odds are against you. Yeah.
No, the college kids know now this is where their opportunity is.
You can
make their money right now because this is their window.
And you can now play college and make more money than your parents are, and then you don't make the NFL and you get a haircut and get a real job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kate's probably making more. I don't know what his parents did, but you got players making more than their parents.
They made $4 million last year. You said,
$4 million. Well, Texas, you got Texas make $7 million.
Right.
Arch Manning is making $7 million. So anyhow, we're at about 37 minutes. I want to thank all our sponsors, Purely CBD Greer.
Purely, by the way.
Shirley. Dawn, we appreciate it. You were one of our first sponsors. Charlie Tees and Wings. Wings and football and March Madness just go together. Hook up with them for some of your tailgating needs. Go order it before you go to the game. They'll have it ready for you. That way you're not at Bojangles or wherever you are waiting in line like we have for an hour and a half.
That's right.
Yeah,
Bracken Real Estate.
Everybody needs a place to stay. And they just don't cover Powdersville easy. They cover all the upstate from where they stand. Sassy's Boutique, the oldest boutique in Clemson.
Literally downtown Clemson on the backside back there.
Right next to Howard's place. And Industrial Incorporated, corporate offices in Greenville, across from Bonds Cures. Also got other offices all over the southeast. I've lost track of actually how many places they have in the corporates over in Greenville. So that would cover this area in the upstate. They got one in Columbia. I know you got one in Charleston. Got one in Atlanta. Bixby's 405 College Avenue for all your needs. If you need a place to stay, you need a place to work out, you need a place to swim, you need a place that's close to the campus.
It's a very centralized place.
It's a centralized place. You don't have to drive it. You can basically just walk down to Dabo's place and get a meal, hang out. So I think we covered about all we're going to cover. There's just not a lot going on right now. It's a spring game.
We come out here every year. Nobody got hurt. There you go.
So that's a tradition. It's good to see football. We're probably going to end it a little bit early. So we want to thank all the sponsors.
Are we going to bring the girl out?
We're going to bring our mascot out.
All right.
All right. We always end with the Tiger chant. Come on. All right. Get in the middle here. You're in for a surprise.
So we have one here that we want you to see.
It's a long story. Like I said, we're different. We're more excited than anybody else. We're not bored.
We were going to give him a banana, but
And all y'all know the gorilla mascot and how I love gorillas. We've got a gorilla mascot. Isn't he pretty? All right, so we all know the Tiger Can, don't we? Thanks to all the sponsors. So. Thanks to everybody. All right, you ready?
We do.
CLEMSONRTIGERS. Fight, Tigers, fight, Tigers, fight, fight, fight. Go Tigers, I bleed orange, baby. Let's go. Woo! Thank you, guys.